Stop it.
Oh my god.
We're going live. All right, looks like we're live on February 16th, 2016. We've got a special guest in here, and we also have Bill. Now, our mystery guest is in the office and will be here very shortly. If you didn't see on Facebook, we posted that we're going to have a special mystery guest today. It's actually very last minute, but I'm very excited. Bill, maybe not so much. However, Bill is back.
I'm back!
And we have our mystery guest in the office. Here. Pull up a chair.
I'll push.
We also have a very special short preview for you guys to show you for upcoming BB Wars game at Rockahula Water Park in conjunction with Operation Lion Claw's Military Simulation Series. And thank you for turning our CF card, mystery guest. Pop on in.
Jesus.
It's a little tight.
I'll scoop back.
Hey, Tim. Hey. Tim.
He's got a new microphone.
We did, and it's pretty. I mean,
you guys are moving up.
Because the sound, people used to complain about the sound quality.
Yes, we finally, sucked it up and tried to fix it. So, thankfully to us. All right, so we've got a lot of folks in the comments saying they miss Bill. Nothing about Tim, rightfully so. But there's a bit of a delay.
Fit in here.
Here, I'll scoot.
There you go.
There you go. All right, so we've got a lot of we've got some new products to show you today. And since Tim is here, he actually brought a special Crytek gun. And hopefully we'll be able to see that very soon. Now, Tim, can you tell us, how SHOT Show was, or what your perceptions are for, you guys were unveiling some new product like the Chris Vector AEG?
Yes, we are. Well, okay. First of all, before everyone gets their hopes up, the AEG is not what I have here today. I don't know if you were alluding
I didn't set that up very well. Yeah.
I don't know if you were alluding to that.
No.
But SHOT Show was pretty cool. I don't know exactly. You guys were at SHOT Show, so I don't know what you're looking to hear from me.
What? I don't know. Maybe you had some special insight. Like, there was Travis Haley was at your guys' event, and I was actually eagerly waiting there like a fanboy, but then I had to leave. So, but I thought that was kind of cool. We showed up to your guys' shooting night.
Yeah, he's been kind of a quiet supporter of some of our products. He's a big fan of our Sphinx pistol lineup. Mm-hmm. He likes the ergonomics of the gun. It's very accurate. And so we're going to be working with him in the near future for a couple of things. And yeah, you weren't the only one that kind of came up to me and was like, "Damn, is that Travis Haley over there?" I was like, "Yeah, it is. Why don't you go say hi?"
Dude, I was in a line of guys from Hawaii who was like, "Oh, are you guys all waiting for Travis Haley too?" They're like, "Yeah." I was like, "Oh, all right, I'll just stand right here." So
yeah, he's a real cool guy. He's real chill. If you see him again, just go up and say hi and say what's up. There are a lot of people like trying to take selfies. Like,
with him in the background?
And then he was like, "You don't have to.
You can just
ask."
Say hi.
Yeah, well, he's a real down-to-earth guy.
It's funny because I ran to Greg Wong at that same meetup, and he told me that he said hi to Travis Haley before, and Travis Haley was like, "Oh, hey, nice Jurassic Park Jeep," and I'm sure Greg was very excited by that comment.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, everything I've heard, he seems really down to earth, and obviously very professional. And after watching his videos, like, he really looks into like I guess the physics and just the motion of your body.
His big thing is biomechanics.
That's what I was looking for. Thank you. Yeah. So very impressive. Anyway, without further ado, why don't you show us?
Oh, I believe that you guys have this already, but I don't know. I noticed that you guys didn't do a lot of coverage of our gun over SHOT Show. You guys did a lot of Instagram stuff for the whole week?
Yeah, we're mainly focusing on social media, so we didn't do a whole lot of like full-on like camera videos with our DSLR. However, I mean, as you probably noticed, like a lot of like footage, or at least a lot of internet spin was on the Chris Vector AEG. So pretty cool. But however, it's funny that we have Bill in the office as well, because we're actually just talking about your LVOA.
What were you talking about?
I want one.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know a guy that knows a guy. Maybe we can talk and put my people in touch with your people.
So, wow. So for those of you that are not familiar, this is the licensed war sport LVOA from Crytek. Now, Tim, why don't you tell us about some of the reasons for the design of this gun?
Well, I'd probably have to refer you to the experts at War Sport for that.
Well, you know something. Come on.
Well, LVOA stands for Low Visibility Operations Application, and so the whole idea behind the gun was to reduce your signature when firing it. But, we're talking about real guns here, so as the Airsoft gun, what we're really looking at is how awesome it looks.
Yes, and it does look pretty righteous. It's pretty long build, and most people who I've seen who have these set up grab pretty far on down the rail system. However, just like the real one, you do have the wire cutter there on the front. Now, it's pretty cool build, especially for people who prefer long guns or prefer a longer inner barrel length. So this will probably do really well at outdoor fields or fields that have long engagement distances.
It's the same length as our Crytek Trident SPR, or roughly the same length. Of course, the rail is extended, so you get a little bit more of little bit more weight on the front end there. But all in all, it's not too bad. It, like you mentioned, is officially licensed. One of the reasons I did bring this in here, though, obviously we have the foliage green version. We've been talking with you guys in the near future about doing a special colorway for Airsoft GI, so keep your eyes out for that, something specifically for you guys, and I'll let you guys spill the beans on that in the next couple of weeks, but that's something for the watchers of the live show to have a little bit of inside information about.
Now, just to be absolutely clear and completely like a troll, we are going with the hot pink color, correct?
Yes, that is the one that is the one that you guys wanted, the hot pink.
Just
well,
kidding.
Now that I
just
know
kidding.
that, I will hold off until we have special color.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. So make sure to stay tuned, like Tim said, at AirsoftGI.com for the upcoming hopeful release of the Airsoft GI exclusive War Sport License LVOA. That is pretty cool.
I will say I like the heft up front.
Mhm.
Like it feels, I don't know, my right arm's stronger on, so it's easier to hold for me. I like it.
You know, it's interesting because like across the Crytek Trident line, one of my favorite things of all is actually your stock. I really like the design of this stock. It accommodates a variety of batteries, and I definitely like the slimmed down version on the cheek guard. It just feels more comfortable overall to me. So
the stock's a popular item.
Yeah.
Obviously, with the background that we have of a lot of the designers actually playing Airsoft, a lot of us remember the very early days of the first Crane stocks that were on the market. It was a pain in the butt to fit a battery into them. So not only did we want to make the stock look cool, we wanted to make it functional as well, as you determined, or as you mentioned, that it is compatible with a lot of different batteries.
I determined the hell out
As a
of it.
result, a lot of guys buy our stocks and put them on their other guns as well because it works, with any other buffer tube that you have.
No, that's very true. I've noticed, especially one of the folks up at GamePod Combat Zone in Northern California, a fellow named Chino, he puts your guys' stocks on a lot of different things. In fact, he's also put your PDW stock on a lot of different guns, which is another cool, Crytek innovation or intervention. Yeah, I just made that up right now. Thank you. I appreciate it. So, yeah, really cool. Definitely thinking about one of these.
When's the next time you guys are going to GamePod, by the way?
Hopefully really soon, because that field is, always pretty awesome. So,
the last time I was there was when, I beat you at 10 so
just
it's been a while.
stop it.
I'm due
Just
to go back.
stop it.
I'm due to go back. That's all I'm saying. That's the last time I was there.
Oh my God, our TV series ended in a tie. No matter what the hell you say,
But I won the last game.
You did win the last game, and what's really impressive about it is that there was a nuke in the center of the field, and I kept telling my team of children that we needed to go out there, that we need to go out there as soon as we can. And as soon as the game started, you had a lot of your guys just run right in the center, grab the nuke, and the rest of your guys just put fire on our spawn zone. So all these kids on my team were just bunkered down right from the get-go.
Well, I remember the nuke had to be a priority. I was so pissed that they threw the nuke out there because Jet made the nuke so valuable that you could have won the game
just by getting it,
and that would have negated all of the hard work we did all day long. And so I made it a point to make sure we get the nuke no matter what. Otherwise, everything in the morning was for naught.
Well, it's interesting because, you got to focus on your priorities in these games because, just like any of the other games we've had last year, there are certain small objectives or big objectives that can determine the fate for the weekend. Like at Tim vs. 4 and 4.5, you remember the first day, if a few things had gone subtly different, it would have completely changed the entire weekend. And we had a similar thing.
Pizza delivering? Somebody mentioned that lunch was at 11.
Okay. Now, Bill, I don't know if you're aware of this, but Tim believes to this day apparently that I told his team.
Somebody told. I didn't say it was you, Bob. Somebody told the team that lunch was at 11.
Now
so it sounds like something you would do, Bob.
No. I
give me a map with some shit all messed up and.
I did photocopy your maps. I did plant half of your bodyguards with my own spies.
See?
But here's the thing, and I've told you this time and time again. I will ruin your day all day long. I will not ruin the player's day. What did I just do?
Oh, you broke it.
No, I didn't break it.
This is why we can't.
Oh God!
Dude, just click all the way to the end, and then we'll be back at real time.
Okay.
There you go.
Anyway, I will ruin your day as many times as I physically can. I will not ruin our players' days because I want them to have fun. And sending them out early for lunch is not something I would do.
It also wouldn't really ruin their day, technically. I mean, they
still
get
get
warm
food.
lunch when everyone else gets.
Yeah, but I don't want them to miss out on gameplay when they don't have to. So, but
maybe it was you, maybe it wasn't.
I'm just
saying somebody said something.
I feel like you're still in the bitter bus.
Somebody said something
about that loss, that extremely huge, catastrophic loss for the
I won the series, so it doesn't.
No, you did not win the series. It ended up in a physical tie, and thankfully, because we're such good friends, that was a good way to end it.
That's like being like, okay, well, it comes down to the championship in points, and in NASCAR we tied in the end, but who cares? I won the last race.
Get out, Bill.
Shut up,
Just
Bill.
get out. Well, okay, thank you, Tim. Thank
What?
you.
I'm on your side.
But that didn't make any
It
sense.
makes sense in my head.
Okay, well, on that note, we actually have a really cool new trailer that our editor, Marcus, although that is his real name, put together. So we're going to show it to you guys right now of our upcoming BB Wars event, Episode 5 Water Wars at Rockahula Water Park. I'd like to make a note, this is the most affordable event ever at an airsoft water, well, at a water park for airsoft. So check it out. All right, so we really hope you guys like that trailer. That game is coming up on March 19th at Rockahula Water Park in California. So if you want to get your tickets, get them on airsoftyacht.com, or, excuse me, you can head on over to our California walk-in store and buy the tickets right there.
I like the trailer. I couldn't help but notice some of myself in there.
Yeah, some of that footage is actually from Operation Blue's Route 66 that you and I went to a number of years ago. That was really fun. Do you remember when we were assaulting up the hill?
That was not my favorite part. No.
Well, it's because, you got blown up, and then I had to medic you.
Well, shooting uphill is always the worst.
And when I went, I said I'm not going up that.
Oh, God.
Wait, when did you go?
I went, it was War of Angels.
Oh, it was at the same place. Okay,
Yeah, same place.
Yeah.
Manny Vasquez, your shout-out is approved. So yeah, make sure to get your tickets online or in our walk-in store, and we were looking forward to more trailers coming out soon for that event. Now, in addition, we actually have some other promos I want to mention. We have an East Coast game that just went live on airsoftgi.com and gitactical.com. It's a collaboration event with CZ Airsoft in Fredericksburg. It's a field that I think all of you guys on the East Coast should check out if you're in the area for that time frame. I believe it's actually the same weekend. It's March 20th. Again, the tickets available on airsoftgi.com and gitactical.com, and you can purchase them in-store at GI Tactical in Chesterfield, Virginia. Also, pre-order for Miracle Barrels. The next generation Miracle Barrels are up. We also have the Spectre Rapid Deploy Pistol. I believe it's originally for around $150. It's available right now on airsoftgi.com for $99.99. Also, if you want a Classic Army M249, essentially the SAW, you can get that for about $100 off for $259.99. And the Zombat Striker, a gun which I personally really like, especially for zombie games, is around $40 off in our Shocker section. Also, we still ship globally. If you're anywhere outside the United States except North Korea, because they've been bad, you can buy on airsoftgi.com. And also, The Division just went live on Steam. And if you guys haven't seen it, some great friends of airsoftgi.com, the same folks who did our Left 4 Dead fan film.
Some of the same folks.
Well, some of the same folks. A lot of awesome
Not
folks.
everyone.
Well, yeah, Sonny wasn't. Yeah. However, Aureus Grex, this production company that recently formed about a year or two ago. What?
Aureus Grex?
Aureus Grex? Aureus Grex?
It's AU, right?
Yeah.
Oreo? Like an Oreo?
Well, AUR is like or.
Aor?
Aureus?
Aureus or Aureus Grex. Check them out on Instagram or Facebook. They actually, the tie-in here is the fact that they actually did multiple different trailers for Tom Clancy's The Division that went up on, I believe, Corridor Digital, Devon Supertramp, and Rocket Jump, all those channels, and they were directed and shot by the great folks at Aureus Grex. How do you pronounce it, Tim?
Aureus.
Oh,
like
okay.
with an A.
Okay.
No
Aureus
O in
Grex or Aureus Grex.
No, it's just Aureus Grex.
I would say Aureus would be Areus.
God, it's like an old couple.
Still a better love story than Twilight.
Yes.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. So check them out again on Instagram, Facebook. They're great folks. They shoot amazing stuff. And the actual narratives for the Tom Clancy's Division was pretty cool to see. Some of them were kind of dark. And also, it features the same flamethrower from Lethal Weapon.
Well, all right.
Yeah, pretty awesome.
Does it feature the same Glock, too?
I don't know.
They do feature the Chris Vector, though.
That is true. They use that in just about all of them, which is pretty cool.
Did they? I
Yeah.
don't think I've seen all of them.
And Corridor Digital recently came out with that top 10 ways to breach.
Yeah.
That also features the Chris Vector as well. If you haven't seen that video, Tim, I think you're really going to like it.
I'll just
Yeah,
throw this out
don't
there.
like me.
Number 5, bees.
They're talking about like different ways to breach a room full of terrorists, and number 5 is like bees, and they just shove a bunch of bees in a room, and you see all these terrorists freaking out, and one guy's like has a shotgun just going blam 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 blam.
That could work.
Yeah, no, it could, but doesn't. Anyway, also someone was asking, Bill, what happened to the NHRA?
Well, I mean, the thing is, tomato peeling, it was a lucrative business at the time up in Fresno, but I was damn good at it, but it just wasn't going to survive.
Yeah, you gotta have really dexterous hands.
Yeah,
so it
and
doesn't
you know,
work out.
I have these big sausage fingers. It's hard to handle it.
Unacceptable.
Yeah, well.
Biscuit Airsoft, your shout out is approved. Now, Tim,
Bob.
I was actually curious about this. I've never asked you this before. Astrologically, what's your sign?
I don't know.
That's not a sign. Actually, what I wanted to ask you is, are there any plans ever to come out with the Sphinx pistol for Airsoft?
No, not right now, but anything could happen in the future.
That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was actually curious. For those of you that don't know, Sphinx is another brand under Chris USA. And the pistol the real firearm is stunning to shoot. It's so accurate right out of the box. Shoot, what was I going to say about that? I believe some competition pistols or pistol shooters use that, but I was interested to see that there are actually some foreign special forces units that use the Sphinx pistol as well. I saw it in, what was that magazine? Flashbang. What was the actual special forces unit that was using that?
I think it was the Filipino Special Forces that use the Sphinx 3000, which is one of our more higher-end hand-built guns. And so, yeah, those guys are very well equipped.
Yeah, yes, they are. I got to give a lot of credit to Filipino Special Forces because they are still very active with a very long-running Muslim insurgency in Mindanao. So,
Still Filipino.
Yeah, what?
They're still Filipino, too.
Yeah, well, yeah. Let's see, what else? Oh, yeah, also, you guys are planning on coming out with a greater expansion of your 22 line, correct? Now, can you tell us more about that? Because I'm sure there are a lot of folks in different parts of the country that like shooting 22s, this guy included, so why don't you tell our viewers about that?
Well, if you guys recall, when we originally announced the Crytek brand, we had slated the 22 LRs to be a part of that as kind of like the next step up from Airsoft.
Correct.
Before you get into your big bore and your centerfire guns, you do your 22s, you get your rimfire. It's a little bit safer. It's not much recoil. It's a great way to learn. We've kind of redone that. It's still basically the same process, except everything's going to be branded under Defiance, which is going to become a firearms brand for us. But you'll be able to see by the end of this year what is essentially the Crytek SPR in a 22 version.
That'll be interesting.
Yeah, it'll be a Defiance DMK 22, but you've got basically your 16-inch barrel, your 13-inch rail. It's going to be made exactly like an AR. And so if you want something that's going to be as close to an AR as you can get without shooting a centerfire round, this is going to be your gun.
Well, that's awesome. I agree. I think 22s are a great way to introduce people to the shooting sport or to shooting in general because, a lot of people get scared off with like a 12-gauge shotgun. It's a lot of recoil. And you can also, you can sit there and blink with a 22 all day.
Yeah, and 22 is so cheap right now.
Yeah, absolutely. I do know. Go ahead.
I got a question. In terms of those 22s, are they going to be able to be swappable with like a 5.56?
The receiver that we're making for it is a 22 dedicated receiver.
Okay.
Yeah. But it is going to be forged like your AR receiver.
Oh, okay.
And so it's going to be very well built. And the price point that we're looking to hit is under $500. And so
solid.
You're looking at a full metal forged 22 AR with the same functionality, because that's another problem with a lot of the 22s on the market right now, is that you can't, the bolt hold open feature isn't featured on a lot of them.
Yep.
Your charging handle a lot of times is not the same size as your regular charging handle, and so there's things that you can't do with the current 22 ARs on the market. So the idea behind the Defiance gun is it's exactly like an AR. If you want to put your Raptor charging handle on there, you can. If you want to put your bad lever on the bolt release, you can. The bolt release will work. If you want to put your Geissele or CMC trigger on there, it'll fit inside.
Really?
Yeah. And so the idea is that you can do anything that you normally would be able to do with your AR is also be able to do it with your 22.
So it's going to be like those standard looking mags, but they just hold a 22 inside.
Well, the magazines, we have to make our own magazines in order for the bolt lock feature to work, but it will be compatible with existing magazines on the market.
Okay.
And so you don't have to buy our magazines, but if you do, then you get the additional functionality of the bolt lock feature. Another cool feature about our gun is it's already going to be compatible with the existing 22 barrels on the market. Because the aftermarket 22 scene is really big, right?
Yeah.
And so there's already existing parts, and so we wanted to make sure that our gun was functional with the existing stuff that's on the market.
Yeah, that's legit.
Yeah, that sounds pretty awesome. Personal curiosity, like how much do you think, some of your 22 lineup is going to cost for the open market?
I said under $500.
Oh, sorry, I was tuning you out because someone asked a question about you.
Yeah. The base 22 is going to be available for under $500. It'll already be built pretty legit, but like I said, there's already parts on the market. If you wanted to tune it up from there, you can do that, and the sky's the limit.
No, that's awesome.
Yeah,
that is really awesome.
Exactly.
Well, that's actually an interesting question that you have some background in. From Austin White, Bob, best red dot for Scar L. And in the video we actually just showed you guys, that was actually Tim using his old Scar L. Now, do you have an idea for the best red dot or the way that you like to use your red dot on your Scar L? Because I know in that video you had an ACOG style sight with a red dot on top.
Is that the one I was using?
I think so, yeah.
Play it back. Let's find out. No, I'm just kidding. Don't do that. Okay, this is actually an interesting question. For Airsoft, I almost never use sights.
I noticed that.
I have them on my gun because they look cool, but they're almost always off.
Yeah.
So I don't know how to answer your question there, but if you need a red dot sight for your firearm, Loophole makes a pretty cool sight called the Delta Point, which is a small mini red dot sight. If you want something that's a little bigger, a little more tubular, Aim Point is a pretty good go-to, but you're starting to talk about some pretty expensive sights from there.
I was going to say,
not going to put it on a gun.
Loophole by themselves, like that is a manufacturer with a lot of history and quality behind themselves, and gosh, are those sights expensive.
Oh yeah.
Good. Well, not a great lead-in, but I have one of my favorite books in the whole world is Marine Sniper, detailing the exploits of this gentleman named Carlos Hathcock, who until recently had the record for most confirmed kills. And in his book, he basically uses just a basic Winchester 700 with a Loophole optic. That's how I became familiar with them. But why don't you give our viewers, do you have any insight in the current pricing of just basic Loophole scopes?
They'll range in price anywhere from $700 to several thousand.
Right, so 2 Crytacs for one very affordable Loophole scope. So,
well, the popular saying amongst guys that shoot long range, they say that your optic should be at least twice as much as the gun you're mounting it on. So
that's a good point.
If you use that axiom for how much you should spend on your scope, then you're right in there for a Loophole sight. Interesting little tidbit about Loophole, though. They're the actual company that invented the red dot sight.
You're kidding?
Yeah, and they have the worldwide patent on it. So everybody else that makes a red dot sight pays Loophole for the rights to do that.
Money. Yeah. Wow, that's nuts.
So Aim Point, Trigicon, all those guys, they all owe money to Loophole for a red dot
Touche,
sight.
Loophole. Touche. That was way ahead of the curve.
So those guys are really on the cutting edge of sight technology for sure.
Shout out for the Rebellion. Rebellion, your shout out is of course approved, not the Empire. However, someone was asking about if we're going to be at the walk-in store on November 19th, 2016. That is unfortunately really 9 months away. I can't confirm whether or not Bill or I will be there. Hopefully we will, but Zane Case, if you do come down, we would like to say hi to you. We've seen you on the live show numerous amounts of times, so I'm glad you're coming down and having a 6+ hour road trip.
Wait, what store is that one? The Texas store?
No, the California walk-in store.
Oh,
one around the corner. Is just a red dot okay for GamePod Combat Zone, or would an ACOG come in handy? I want to get all your guys' input on this. Personally speaking, if you want to have an optic for GamePod Combat Zone, I think a red dot is going to be the most you need. An ACOG or a magnified sight will probably be too much unless you're engaging at all the way the opposite end of the facility. So I think a red dot will set you right. You guys?
I'd say, yeah, definitely a red dot, because even with all the lights on, at a certain point you no longer can see really where the BB's at. So, like, especially when we were up there, when I was up there last time for, was that episode 2? Episode 2 is at GamePod, correct? I think so.
Yeah, yes.
Because it was right before, whatever. I'm glad
No,
you
episode 2 was a GamePod.
And the gun I was using just had a red dot, and it was perfect for there. I mean, the only zoomed optic I would say you can use is one that can go from 1 to 4. You just leave it at 1.
Yeah. Speaking of episode 2 of BB Wars, we actually had a redo of the nuke scenario where I faced off against you, and I was actually telling, I think Daniel was commanding the other side this time, and I was like, hey, there's a nuke in the center. I got to be honest with you, I went through this scenario before, so I know how to do this. And I gave him a little bit of hints, like, look, just to be in all fairness, gonna want to get it right away. And my team ended up coming out with a win on that one, but I literally put it directly down to the fact, like, yeah, I saw how this went from the other end last time, so it was pretty
Wait, was that during that game, was Daniel winning the whole day and then the nuke was thrown at the very end?
No, I felt bad because, like, that was Daniel's I think second time commanding, and then Josh was also helping him out as an XO, and they were getting pretty harassed for the entire day. So my horde of cats, small children, and middle-aged adults were doing really well. So,
dang it! You leave the Empire for 1 year and everything falls apart.
No, they've had some good games. Like Daniel did have some wins he pulled out, as well as Ed on the East Coast. Ed was specifically very good. I would say even better than myself at command and control. At least like directing traffic, radioing people to certain destinations. That's always something I've had to like play and choose, and at least like change up my tactics on to get continually better. ETA for AA12 restocking. That's from Frank Woods. Well, it's interesting you mentioned that because we do have one that should be going back in stock very soon. We are going to get some back on our website very soon as well. The shipment is on its way, so look forward to that. But there should be one getting back in stock possibly tomorrow or the next day. So stay tuned on airsoftja.com to get one as soon as you can. I wish I could buy this one myself, but I can't.
Hashtag Dartles.
Yeah, hashtag Dartles. So, Nate Kendall, Bob, if North Korea invaded, would you be my battle buddy? Absolutely. In fact, anyone who would be willing to defend against North Korea would probably be a pretty solid battle buddy. Tim, your thoughts on North Korea invading the United States?
Okay.
I know it's a loaded topic.
I think that would be awful.
Very safe opinion. If you guys have ever played the game Homefront, that actually chronicles North Korea invading the United States, again, a very understandable scenario.
Homefront?
Yeah, Homefront.
I think it was actually supposed to be China, and they changed it.
Well, originally, yeah, it was supposed to be...
Wait, that's not the name of the movie.
No.
Game.
It was a video game.
Based.
You're thinking of Red Dawn.
Yeah.
Which was supposed to be China, and they changed it. Because,
both the game and the movie were supposed to be China. However, both the game and the movie had Chinese investors, which were like, we're not paying for that if that's what you're going to do.
The original movie from the 70s?
No. The original one's Russians.
Yeah.
With help from Cuba.
No, the Soviets.
Or Soviets. It's not Russian.
Yeah, Soviets with help from Cuba, Nicaragua, and other communist-leaning countries. The new one... the new one actually, it was supposed to be the Chinese, and what was going to be really cool, which they didn't get to have happen, all these Hummer dealerships and the original H1 Hummers were just on lots sitting nowhere. So what they're going to do is buy them all up for the movie and have the Chinese invade America using copycat American Hummers, which is a little kind of crazy. So
right,
yeah, and very possible. So that being said, if you guys have any questions, please feel free to throw them in. I'll go to the first one. What is your favorite type of ice cream, i.e. Blizzard, McFlurry, etc.?
Favorite type of ice cream?
Yeah, I like rainbow sherbet, so I'm just going to throw that out there.
Cookies and cream is good. Although, Thrifty's ice cream, what they have at Rite Aid? The pecan praline is really
pecan
good.
Pecan praline?
Yeah.
I've never heard praline.
Praline? Oh, I've always called it pecan.
I think it's praline. Yeah, that's what.
Probably because it's like from a
Oreo scratch.
No, it's probably because it's from an old.
Go to hell, sir.
From an old I Love Lucy. Where it's like 2 miles till Aunt Polly's pecan pralines.
Have you ever heard Jet say salmon?
You say salmon?
Does he say the L?
He goes like, yeah, let's have some salmon. We're like, excuse you? Salmon. Yeah, salmon.
Salmon.
Okay. Yeah, salmon. Okay. Bob, how can I get the ultimate trigger response for an AEG? Please answer. Well, first of all, I'm probably not the best person to ask this because I'm not a very good tech. However, one thing I would suggest is I believe getting a better motor will increase your trigger response as well as a better battery. Yeah. So those are about two things from someone who doesn't know
Those
about
are the easiest two things to change.
Yeah.
Correct.
You can change your gears, but then you got to get into the gearbox. So,
Or switch to a micro switch. But
Yeah.
that's a whole nother.
but the two easy things to swap out is a battery and motor.
yeah.
Yes. Let's see. All right. Is the G36 KV a good beginner gun? In all honesty, like, I have actually fired the G36 KV. I had a lot of fun with it, and I think you're going to have the most fun with the gun style you want. You know, a lot of folks do like G36s, a lot of folks like P90s, a lot of folks like M4s or AKs. Speaking of this guy, my favorite are shotguns. So I think you should go with the gun that speaks to you the best. Would you agree, Tim?
Yes.
Excellent work. Bill, actually, what was your beginner gun? Wasn't it an M16?
No, well, my first like beginner, which was like a really low end AEG, was a G36C. But my very first like legit airsoft gun was an M16. And because I was like, I want something that not really many people use, but still has a lot of parts available for it.
Yeah, something a bit different. That is kind of a going thing, is to have something that like stands out a little bit or
Yeah.
makes you more unique.
That's
And-
why I like this thing.
Yeah, no, and that's a good answer. Someone was asking if. Oh shoot! Now the question's gone. I am very sorry.
Everything's exploding.
Yeah, full rail or quad handguard rail?
Wait, what?
I'm confused by that. Does that make sense to you?
What was the question?
Full quad rail or handguard rail? I'm
Is he
confused.
referring to like either a full rail system or like, you know, those
like the
old-
MOE?
No, like I mean, like I think a full where it's all four rails like permanently
Kind of like
affixed.
an old school design.
Old school rail, or like one where it's like this, where you attach the rails wherever you want.
Huh. I
It's
don't know.
whatever your preference is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's personal preference. I personally like to have as much versatility as
Yeah.
possible. So
I like one of my favorite rail systems is the M-Lock. I had that on my LM4. That was a good rail system.
should I buy the G&G Wild Hog or Predator? And ER Skating, your shout out is approved. It's a tough question. I mean, the Predator is kind of interesting. I like the Wild Hog just for appearance and how it's built right out of the box. You also should take a look at the Crytek LVOA. Very cool gun. I actually prefer, I believe I have a Crytek Trident SPR, which is pretty awesome. However, the CRB is obviously very, very popular with just about everybody. And one thing which I do miss having Daniel in the office is his Crytek. I believe it's not the. He originally had the limited edition LMG, but now he has the LMG Enhanced. I
Does he
believe.
have the new one?
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah. So it's always actually really fun to see him rocking and roll with that thing. It's always like basically someone who is your nearest squad automatic gunner is probably going to be your best friend as far as putting down fire support.
Yup.
So yeah. Have you ever run as a support gunner?
In like Battlefield? Not
I'll
in
take
real
that.
life.
I will take that. Yeah.
Battlefield 2.
Years
ago.
Speaking of Battlefield 2, you and I still have to have a rematch on StarCraft 2. Yeah. There's actually a co-op mission set now, so we could actually play together, but that probably won't work very well for you. So,
I don't know. I don't know any of the units.
just like last time.
There was an expansion that came out recently, right? Like the last one.
Yeah, basically StarCraft 2 came out first with the Terran campaign, then there's an expansion with the Zerg campaign, and the most recent expansion was the Protoss campaign.
Okay. Yeah.
So, but when the Protoss campaign dropped,
I have no idea.
co-op missions came out with it, which is really fun.
Hey man, I've just been playing Fallout 4 and Mortal Kombat X. So.
I actually you gave me a really good tip for Fallout 4.
I'll give this up. So if any of you play Fallout 4, which I'm sure there's a good chunk of you, I have two tips for you. If you're building your settlement and you run out of room, what you can do is take all your weapons out of your workbench that you've stored there, put them in your inventory, and then drop them all on the floor. Then go into the workbench mode where you build stuff, and then you hit the button, I believe on Xbox it's B, I don't know what it is for PlayStation, to put them back into the inventory, and it will shrink the size of your settlement bar so you can continue building. The other tip is if you have one that has like a good source of water, like Sanctuary, what I did was I became a moisture farmer. So you just build as many industrial purifiers as you can, and then whatever excess will be stored in your workbench as just water, and then you can sell it for, I think I'm selling them for about 15 caps a piece, so I get like 500 bottles, and then I just make a big chunk of change in the day.
Yeah, that definitely changed the game a little bit for me because I started building water purifiers, and I was finally able to pull up a substantial hoard of caps, which I used to buy a bunch of other cool stuff.
Yeah.
So pretty handy tip from Bill.
What is Fallout?
What?
What is Fallout?
Leave.
I know it's a video game, but I can't understand.
Post-apocalyptic America, it's like, what, 2027?
How have you missed all of the trailers or any
I was at E3. I saw their thing. It
Oh
was
my
really
god!
amazing,
I saw it, but I don't know what it
I know they have that watch thing where you plug your iPhone in. And it's like
The Pip-Boy.
So I
Yeah.
actually played with the app on my phone. I didn't have the Pip-Boy thing, but I had the app, and it's easier to just go into the game menu.
My nerd side is offended.
You haven't seen Dragon Ball Z, Bob. All right, you can't talk about
I've
that.
seen some of them. However, I would like to say, or at least tell you, like Bill said, it is
I'm
post-apocalyptic.
watching your reaction. This is funny.
I think the year is supposed to be like 2277
Yeah.
in the U.S.
It's an alternate history where a big part of society, like they make nuclear reactors more and more prevalent in just about everything you do.
like cars.
Like cars, like they have handy bots, which are Mr. Handies, which move around and literally just giant robots that do everything for you. So,
this one takes place in
But
Boston.
what do you do as a player in the game? Because you're talking about like
Well, there's a main quest.
building a settlement and stuff like that.
what happens is you wake up from a vault, not to spoil it for everyone, but tens, if actually hundreds of years after the nuclear holocaust, and you're in the wasteland and you're moving around trying to find some family or some relatives of yours that were taken. So yeah, you can form settlements and build basically your house or features for
a fortress.
Yeah, a fortress.
So how do you win?
Well, you can complete the narrative storyline, or if you don't want to do that, you can just do all these side missions and keep building up these different settlements. So you can essentially play for a long time, similar to Skyrim.
And never actually do the main quest too.
Yeah, I've been holding off on doing the main quest so I can have more fun doing other stuff. So
You just live online.
No, it's a single player. There's no online on that.
oh yeah, it's true. There's no multiplayer.
One of my favorites, though,
You're
I will
living by
say.
yourself.
Well, when you put it like that, Tim.
you're living
Did you ever
in this
play New
digital
Vegas,
space.
Bob? Did you ever play the Fallout New Vegas?
Yeah.
Yeah. So this past weekend, when I was driving back from Vegas in one of the trucks, I was getting so excited because I saw all the locations. I was like, "Oh my God, Prim! Oh my God!" All the locations, they did a good job at making it all the same. It's the real life. Zizix Road.
Someone was asking when we have a baby, when will be named Bim or Tob?
You can name it, Bob.
Bim. It's Bim. All right, moving on. Are you going
Can
to
I be
the
Godfather?
Are you going to the Code Red grand opening? I believe Code Red already opened, and we did have some folks at the grand opening, and that is a great field. I would highly suggest going there.
No, they're having an opening game.
An opening game?
They're doing a re-grand.
A re-grand opening?
Yeah.
Oh, well, you guys should totally go to that because it's an awesome
It's this
field.
weekend.
Wish I could go. Also, right across the way is Paris Valley Skydiving, my own skydiving airfield. Also, a great place to get an amazing French dip sandwich. Just saying.
Really?
Not to skydive, Bob?
No, I would skydive there, and then when I was done, I get a Corona. Then I go and have a French dip sandwich.
It's like one of those small diners that is just there, but you look at it and that place has to have really good food.
No, it's not a small diner, but I mean, you wouldn't think they'd have really good
Well,
food.
because there's a diner down by the Chino Airport that's amazing, but it's just
wow.
a hole in the wall kind of place.
Oh, well, no, it's not necessarily a hole in the wall. It's weird because they have all these different celebrities on the wall that skydive there. So when I used to go jumping there, I'd see literally new photos of Patrick Swayze would show up of him jumping in an all black suit.
Awesome.
But sadly, he has unfortunately passed away.
Swayze's
Crytek,
dead?
yeah, he died of cancer.
I thought that was somebody else.
Oh my
I'm
gosh.
sure somebody else has died of
Well,
cancer.
I mean,
too, but-
recently, we had quite a few celebrities pass from cancer.
Yes, it is sad.
Professor Snape.
Yes. Tim, can I be Asian?
Wait, Patrick Swayze, that's not Iceman from Top Gun.
No,
Who's
that's
that?
Val Kilmer.
He's still alive, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
He's just fatter.
He is fatter.
He's a lot
did see
better,
him,
yeah.
And now has an Academy Award for what
Being
was
fat?
it? No, it was Birdman.
No, that's Michael Keaton. You're way off, man.
I thought it was Val Kilmer.
Well, maybe I'm wrong, and maybe Val Kilmer was in the movie without me knowing and got an Academy Award for it. However, I might
Pretty sure it was Val Kilmer.
Look it up on your phone while you're. Then you can make me look like an idiot.
I'm going to.
Okay.
I'm going to just Google Val Kilmer Birdman and it.
Gorkle, your shout out is approved. Will there ever be any BB Wars events in Arizona, or will you ever come to Arizona to play Airsoft? Shout out. Vic Mendoza, your shout out is approved, and I was in Arizona very recently, and I was
Val Kilmer.
I was very much looking forward to playing Airsoft there. However, some family events dictated that I had to take care of some more important things.
Oh, that's right.
You were wrong.
I just got confused because they're all Batman.
Oh my god. So yeah, hopefully there will be a BB Wars event in Arizona sometime soon.
That's what I thought.
But I will regardless be going to play there. at some point or multiple points this year. So
Which bill?
someplace in Arizona, you'll either be. I might go to Fightertown, USA. I've gone to Fort Adobe. I'm not sure if they're still up and playing. Fightertown, USA, Vanguard Indoor Playground. I believe Mesa Airsoft is around there, but I'll at least try to go to Fightertown, USA, or Vanguard Indoor Playground. Vanguard, I think that's what it's called.
Alrighty then.
Yes. Pig or mechanics gloves?
I like them both. I have them both. I use them both. Just kind of depends on what style you like.
I like mechanics.
If you're a fan of that all-over print stuff, mechanics is the way to go.
Oh, what?
Well, only if you get the originals.
That's
if you get
true.
the impacts, you don't really have that.
I personally like the look of both the pig gloves, like because they're very dexterous. I also like the look of the mechanics impact gloves. They look very aggressive. For my money, I prefer to have the mechanics impacts because they give you added protection.
Yeah, that depends on what you're using it for.
Yeah.
Because I usually like using my shotgun or breaching doorways. So for the added protection, the mechanics impacts are great.
Go for sure.
However, if I was hunting, like when duck or dove season around, or if I was doing some real still shooting, I'd probably want the pig gloves just because they're vastly more dexterous in my opinion.
Yeah.
So,
Well, have you tried the mechanics high dexterity ones? The HD with the 0.5?
Yeah. Oh, those are really
millimeters?
comfortable.
Those are pretty nice.
I have, however, I think the pig gloves manage both looking cool and being dexterous better, a little bit better. Like the mechanics ones you just referred to are very dexterous, and it is nice to be able to use your phone without taking them off.
In Airsoft, I've always used Oakley,
They do fromage.
the hard noodles.
Nice, Tim.
It's funny how I say that.
Did you just pull out a Dexter reference?
Yeah, because it comes like dexterous.
Wow, that's a good show. Red Dawn Reality Milsim Up. Okay, shh.
Are you going to have Navrich on the live show?
What?
Somebody asked that.
What?
If you're going to have Navrich on the live show.
Well, that'd be really cool. We'd love to have him here. I'm actually looking forward to meeting him because he's coming to the U.S. in
2 weeks.
I thought it was 3 days, but yes, that could be true as well.
He's going to that Uprising game.
That's correct.
Are you
Oh, he's going to Uprising?
Yeah.
I don't think I'm gonna be able to. I have stuff to do that weekend, so I'm kind of sad. I've always wanted to play at Hill 559 in Fresno, so there's actually another game a few weeks after that I was hoping to go to as well, but run out of funds. That being, Bob, I'm in college at 9 a.m. tomorrow. Can I have a shout out? Call sign GSA. Your shout out is approved. And it looks like we're getting to the tail end of the live show, so maybe we'll get a few more questions. Will you have a BB Wars in Washington? We're hoping to, but if it hasn't been publicly announced, I can't say anything about it yet, but Washington would be a very good place to have a BB Wars game. What is a good affordable pistol that you like, Bob, Tim, or Bill?
Bob?
Airsoft pistol?
Yeah. Well, I assume.
Well, yeah, I guess go Airsoft.
Yeah. For me, I prefer, it might not be the most affordable pistol, but I'll just tell you what I like. I really like the KWA Mark series, the 1911 Mark series. I also like the KWA HK45. Also, I do like the Elite Force 1911 TAC. That's better for outdoor gameplay since it shoots above 350.
Pistol on the market, Bob.
Pretty much.
What?
You just named like everything.
No, I named two from KWA. They were my favorites. And I
The
named
series. That's like 4 pistols in the whole series.
Well, but the thing is, there's like just minute changes externally between them. So
they're different.
No, internally they're essentially the same gun.
True.
So if you like 1911s, it just gives you 4 different
Some of them are different
choices.
guide springs.
I like the Elite Force M1911A1.
Killing me.
The one that's like the old school, like GI style.
Yeah, the
I don't
original.
like having like rails and stuff on the pistol.
Do you have any preferences, Tim?
The best pistol in Airsoft for your money, I maintain, is Tokyo Marine High Kappa.
I saw this
Knew
coming.
it.
The best one.
It's funny.
4.3, 5.1, doesn't matter what.
Wow. And yet you sold yours.
I did, but I bought another one.
Touche, Tim. Touche. I think if I remember this correctly, and correct me if I'm wrong, is that the thing you like a lot about them is the fact there's so many different parts you can interchange on it. You can really tune it to exactly what you want.
There's a lot of stuff available on the market because of, in Japan you can't have real guns, and so when they shoot competition, they use that as a base gun to build up their stuff for. But even just out of the box, you're talking about $150, I think, for this pistol.
Oh, that's
it's
it? I didn't
so
know that.
accurate. Yeah, I think that's what it is now. It was pretty expensive for a while, but for $150, it's right in line with the other pistols you guys mentioned. Super accurate. The
Well, it's
magazine
only
holds like
100.
26 rounds.
A lot, yeah.
The magazine holds a lot of rounds. The magazine holds a lot of gas, and like you said, the
It's much
aftermarket
wider.
support.
Yeah. Well, it's good that you're on the show to give that at least perspective. I was recently out at Taxi Airsoft in Fullerton, and pretty much the 3 people I went with all had high kappas. pretty impressive. I was happily there with my shotgun, which did work. So yeah, I'll actually
I love those shotguns.
the Tokamuri gas shotgun.
No, well that is fun, but
Yeah.
I mean for like bang for your buck, like the Springer tri-shots, because you can go out and have a blast with them.
It's actually a good thing. If you guys are looking for something to change up your play style, maybe challenge yourself a little bit, go on to airsoftgi.com and check out the Tri-Burst shotguns, because that'll definitely give you something different, or at least change up your play style for CQB. And it's also incredibly affordable, around between $50 and $65 depending on the model of shotgun you want. But I specifically suggest the Tri-Burst shotguns, not the single shot ones, because they'll give you a little bit more spread and you can at least move around a lot more. I prefer sneaking up on folks, or at least doing run and gun with that. So it's a lot of fun and very affordable at the same time for giving you something different for our sport.
I like the stockless version.
Yeah, that is
really
pretty
easy
fun
to maneuver with it.
Absolutely. All right, well, that is going to do it for our live show on February 16, 2016. I would like to sincerely thank Tim from Chris USA for coming in and being with us on the live show. I would like to moderately thank Bill for being present and accounted for. Excellent work. Excellent work, Bill. Once again, this has been the GITV live show. Make sure to check out Crytek on, wait, what is your Instagram called again?
Crytek Arms.
Crytek Arms. I always get it wrong.
And check this thing out online.
Yeah,
It's
it's
awesome.
very much looking forward to the War Sport License LVOA. Anyway, thank you guys for tuning in, and we'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.